the open road. I got the throttle wide open, feel my pace. Got 100 horses between my legs. No destination, no end in sight. Just me and the open road, riding into the moonlight. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Life in the fast lane, it's easy to maintain. Just twist the throttle on back and feel no pain. From the open highways, backwoods of the country, where live free or die is the only way. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Never look back, never look back. 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 White lines and gasoline. White lines and gasoline. Two wheels in the open road, life and death in my own hands. I am my own justice, I am my own man. I never look behind through all that I have seen. 'Cause all I need is white lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. We believe in the American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly our flag 'cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We make up America, this amazing America. Yeah. We fish the waters and we hunt the lands. We forge the steel with our own two hands. With what we've got, we do the best we can. We're Americans. From the snowy passes to the desert sun, the dogs and the horses and the trucks and the guns, mothers and daughters and fathers and sons, we're Americans. We make up America, this amazing America. Yeah, home of the brave in America. We're an amazing America. Our strength, pride, and faith and trust is American. We like the wildest things that you've ever seen. We make them bigger and faster, louder and mean. And tell me, who wouldn't want to be an American? We make up America, it's amazing America. Yeah, home of the brave in America. for his team's a bunch of badasses, if you know what I mean. They're coming out of the sky, out of the sea, and on land, gonna take it to the enemy. Lock and load, boys. Time to explode, boys. Just make sure you get home, boys. They got your back, the pride of the fleets, the pipe swinging forward man, you're the UDT. They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame, they do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. Ooh yeah, this is the big boys club. Nobody does it quite the way a CLT does. Clean in, clean out, the boys are the best, and they'll be coming for your shells in the deck. So if you see a wrong man coming with guns, you better reconsider whose side you're on. These boys are ghosts, team of the Reaper, and they'll be more than happy to deliver you back to your maker. They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame, they do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. Because the only easy day was yesterday. Come on! They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame, they do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. For the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame, they do it for the USA. They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame, they do it for the USA. They don't do it for the money, they do it for the country. It's not about the fame, they do it for the, they do it for the, they do it for the USA. Lock and load, boys. Time to explode, boys. Make sure you get home, boys. They got your back, the pride of the fleets, the pipe swinging frog men of the UDT. Job, a man, his men and their guns, holding off the enemy for 3 hot days in the desert sun. The decision he made, his men on the grave, was do or die for him that day. He stepped into the line of fire, and a hero he became. Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the frame, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land under the frame, and the home
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, iRacing fans from around the world, welcome to another live broadcast brought to you by KMA Racing and All Pro Broadcasting Network. Tonight, we are at the Texas Automotive 100 at Texas. I am Scott Kolovic, your announcer for the evening. Joining me in the booth tonight is my good friend Cody Lipsker. How are we doing, Cody?
I'm doing pretty good, Scott. Getting set, ready, and pumped for this race tonight.
I tell you what, it is going to be a hootenanny and a hoedown sitting here at Texas. But what tonight is all about is our sponsor, Jason Russo, Pro Automotive ASE certified technicians up there in Dudley, Massachusetts. We wanted to put this show on tonight to show our support for Jason Russo. Tonight, I believe he is driving the number 22 Pro Automotive Chevy Silverado. This is Texas. Tell us all about Texas, Cody.
Texas is a 1.5 mile 4-bank D-oval. It's actually a quad oval, my bad. It's got a little short chute in the center of the front straight and nice little dog legs off both sides. Really a cool track. It's got 24 degrees of banking, and really these trucks, my bad, can go really fast entering and almost hold a foot to the floor all the way around the track. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. You know, it's one of the newer tracks on the NASCAR circuit, too. It was founded in 1996, so it's not a very old track. It doesn't have a lot of, characteristics. It's not very rough, and it doesn't really chew a lot of the tires away, which means you're going to see a lot of good green flag runs and maybe even possibly taking 2 tires instead of 4 on a last pit stop. 100 laps, though, long race to go.
Very long race to go, and hopefully we will see green flag pit stops tonight here at Texas. Great afternoon, partly cloudy, 72 degrees, track temp of 79. So that track is sitting just about the right temperature that if these drivers do mind their tires, they should be safe around here. But I tell you what, as that track does heat up, as those tires do heat up, we're going to see these trucks sliding up, across, and hopefully not into the wall. Driver control here at Texas, it will be key to a good and successful night.
Yeah, you gotta mind your tires, you're gonna have to mind your fuel, and you're gonna have to mind a lot of the 3-wide action that could possibly happen going down the backstretch. It is a nice, long, safe backstretch that it could happen going into turn 3 and 4, but these corners are usually wide enough where you should have no problem with passing a person or passing 2 people. 3 wide is not an uncommon factor with Texas in the trucks.
Alrighty, now let's talk about some numbers here. Our pace car speed is 65 miles per hour. Our pit speed limit is 50. What kind of track speeds are these Silverados and Tundras going to be looking at coming down that backstretch and going in and out of those corners?
Well, that's kind of most of the time tough to say because you can be hitting right around 200 miles per hour, which is speeds way past Texas. Now, granted, that's with the Gen 6. Now, with the trucks, you're looking at maybe 185, 190, possibly up to 192. You're not going to be seeing speeds much higher than that, but still, that's an extremely high rate of speed, and you're going to have to try to get it loaded up to at least 170-ish just to try to make the corner. And, when you're not using a lot of brake, you're not using a lot of, momentum to slow yourself down, you're just kind of letting off, coasting through the corner, getting back on. You're going to have to kind of play the tire strategy game, going to have to play a lot with your fuel, and you're going to have to mind a lot of other things.
Drivers are going to be very busy here. A few more numbers to talk about. Right now, our qualifying leader is Jason Russo with Pro Automotive. He's pulling down to 28.797, very hot lap here at Texas. But once they get into the 15th, 16th lap, what sort of lap times are we going to be talking?
Lap times, you're probably going to be looking at right around a 30-second lap time. Yeah, you can probably hit 29.7, 29.8, but you're going to have really worn out tires. And like you said, the track's going to warm up, the tires are going to warm up, everything's going to start slipping, it's going to start sliding, you're going to have to let off even further, and maybe even start hitting the brake. All depends on what your tire wear is going to do and how you're going to try to play the track.
I do expect later on, as the laps do click by and we get up to around lap 60 or 70 and that final round of green flag pit stops do take place, I do expect we are going to see some 3 and 4 wide. And 4 wide can be done here at Texas, but I tell you what, it is tight, tight, tight.
Yeah, it's tight, and I don't know if it's exactly what I would consider safe, but, you know, we'll see a lot of different actions take place tonight, and it's going to be fun to watch these drivers, because a lot of them have taken a lot of time out of their days just to try to get, this Texas, this oval down, just to try to get, the fans a good show.
Alrighty, our qualifying times are in Cody and in the Texas Pro Automotive 100 for Jason Russo. We have Jason Russo in the number 22 Pro Automotive Silverado, taking down that P1 spot, pulling down to 28.797. Sitting to his right in P2, the number 8 Andrew Schulte, running tonight for Maximum Velocity with a 28.808. P3 Scott Sanderson in the number 93, 28.825. Running for Southeast, number 88 Dustin Markham, P4 28.842, along with his partner 08 Michael Jeans, 5th place, 28.855.
Kenneth Wright in the 146 pulled down in 6th place with a 28.883. Wally Tierheimer will take up 7th position in his number 57 Chevy Silverado. Doug Hess will pull down 8th place with his 31 truck tonight with a 28.940. Gary Burt will pull down in 10th place, and Tony Wright will be starting in P9 with a 28.960.
The number 66 Edward Bray, position 11, 29.010. Chris Boyles, number 28 Maximum Velocity driver, P12, 29.092. The Gravedigger, number 3 Mark Jackson, running for KMA Racing, P13, 29.104. KMA's very own Jack Watson, the number 77, P14 with a 29.149. And finishing out our qualifying drivers with the number 72, Ivan Garcia, P15 with a 29.367.
All solid times in qualifying, but those that did not will start out with P16, Rob Haynes, P17, Donald Stewart, P18, Rusty Feller, P19, Everett F. Lane, P20 will be Richard Brose, P21 will be Gary Whitmer Jr., P22 will be Joel Guy, P23 will round out your field with Scott Amy.
Now I do want to give a big shout out to Gary Whitmer sitting back there in the back of his pack. You will see a great done commercial. Gary Whitmer is our videographer, gentlemen. Makes a lot of great racing videos out there, a lot of commercials. We saw one last night for Richard Brose, our other sponsor. We've seen the Pro Automotive commercial. So great big shout out to Gary Whitmer. We know we have got his mom out there, Becky, watching tonight. Big shout out to Becky Whitmer as well.
A lot of these drivers are did up a lot of great paints for tonight, and hopefully they'll keep those paint schemes clean and dry as we are going pace speed into turn 4, getting ready to take the green.
A lot of these paint schemes put out by Over the Top Paints and Designs, the official painter for KMA. And boogity, 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 boys, let's go racing. Jason Russo off to a very powerful start here. Andrew Schulte up onto his outside, wanting to get down. Jason Russo up into the high lane, already taking shape of running that qualifying line. Talk to me about what lines we're going to see these drivers running tonight, Cody.
Well, you'll see a lot of them. They'll start to figure out the low line. They'll start to figure out the high line. But the primary line that they'll be running tonight is that Q line that you mentioned. It's kind of like going from the top of the track, trying to apex and try to diamond off the corner as much as possible, trying to get as much speed and trying to make sure that you can maintain your speed all the way through the corner, through the tri-oval, and through the straightaways.
Up there in the front, Andrew Schulte racing very hard with Jason Russo. Andrew Schultz, successful pass on to Jason Russo. Jason Russo a little bit lower into the corner, thinking about trying to get back underneath him on a crossover move. But right now, all drivers are very focused on just keeping up there in front and away from the pack.
Yeah, that's the primary focus right now. Just kind of get yourself established, try to get your lead established, and there's no real reason to race side by side. As I say that, Jason Russo goes underneath.
Now, Jason Russo does know that tonight is all about him, so he's definitely not going to lay down. I tell you what, I love it when these leaders are up here racing side by side. Now, here at Texas, we talk about the draft on the speedways, Cody. Not so much a factor here at Texas.
Yeah, you really find that there's not a lot to do with the draft, but there is still, minor traces of it going down the back stretch, going down the front stretch, and you really don't want to have too badly of a damaged car. But, I mean, it still matters, but you'll be okay with a fender bender or two.
Well, I tell you what, our race leaders, Jason Russo and Andrew Schultz, it is like watching a prize fight, jab for jab, crossover to crossover, move for move. But Jason and Andrew fighting against one another so hard like they are, that has given the number 93 of Scott Sanderson a chance to get right up onto the rear end. And Scott Sanderson, I'm suspecting he will do a crossover move down onto the inside. Now here at Texas, we've got that solid white line. Well, that white line, ladies and gentlemen, it is in play.
Yeah, and as like in play, I mean, you can cross below that white line as far as you want, but mind that once you cross over it, you're fair game for whatever comes back up the track. So you got to be very careful. The white line does separate the 24-degree banking from the apron, which I believe is only about 5 or 10 degrees. So you've got a very hefty degree change right there, and if you hit it just right, you can get around the corner a little bit faster, but you don't, be in the wall very quickly.
Big shout out to Michelle McMaster Eisenhower joining us on the All Pro Broadcasting Chat, rooting on Jason Russo in the number 22. Jason Russo right now battling hard with Andrew Schultz. Only these few drivers have led laps so far. We are on lap 7, and we have already had 3 lead changes and could very possibly be having our 4th as Jason Russo down onto the inside, the left side of Andrew Schultz, side by side, coming around the corner, and Scott Sanderson still gaining momentum.
He might just be sitting back there thinking, I like the view of this because if either one of them mess up, they're going to take each other out. It's not likely that it'll happen, but, the slightest bit of a little bit of contact right there, just a little bit of swiping right there, kind of.
That was pretty tight right there as Jason Russo did come up. Depending upon what camera angle you were looking at, I did not see any contact. You did. So obviously it was not that bad. But I tell you what, we have got some great one-on-one racing. Scott Sanderson to the inside, taking a P2, a second place position right now as he puts the move on the number 8 of Andrew Schultz.
Now trying to find a line around Jason Russo. Not going to be easy, though. Jason making that truck really wide. That Chevy Silverado, it may look pretty skinny, but when you're behind the wheel, you can make that truck look just about as wide as the track.
Now, right now, the biggest pressure of the evening is on Scott Sanderson, because not only does he have to keep an eye on what he's coming up onto, that being the race leader, he's got to keep an eye on that mirror and keeping an eye, looking out for the number 8 of Andrew Schultz. If he takes his eyes off of that mirror one time, Andrew Schultz is going to perform that crossover maneuver, go from the high down to the low, and he's going to take that pass.
Yeah, any little brush of anything could, a little brush of the white line could slide him up the track far enough for Andrew to get his nose back up underneath there, and it doesn't take a lot from there. Ooh, a little bit of bump and rubbing. Looks like everybody will keep it straight, though.
Well, as they say, rubbing is racing. We are on lap 11 for lead changes, 0 cautions. We've got 89 laps to go. And I tell you what, if this entire frame of mind that these drivers are in right now continue on, we could see Texas going caution-free tonight.
Yeah, they're racing extremely clean. Now we're going to have to start figuring out fuel strategies and pitting strategies. Now, I did not calculate any of that out, but I'm going to guess it's going to be right around the same it was at Atlanta and some of the other 1.5-mile tracks. So I'd be guessing right around 35 is going to be your fuel mileage.
About 35 to 37 is what I've been hearing on the track. Driving back to look at another driver, looking at Kenneth Wright. Kenneth Wright in the number 146 as he gets around Tony Wright in the number 21, trying to catch onto the rear end bumper of Edward Bray in the number 66. Now, Kenneth Wright, recent addition to K&A Racing League, very fine driver, looking very sharp out there tonight in that Silverado, pulling down lap times, sitting in the high 29s. So he's not necessarily in a hurry right now on lap 14. He knows that there's more out here to racing than just going fast.
Well, not only that, I mean, you can ride and keep your tires clean, keep your tires underneath you, and, in the end, if you've got the right pitting strategy and you saved enough of your left sides, you can take right sides, be in the clear, and end up going on to winning the race because you had a 7-second faster pit stop.
And pit stops are everything out here. Floating back just a little bit more to Donald Stewart in the number 16, driving a custom-made over-the-top paints and designs truck. He's trying to get onto the rear end of Rob Haynes. Both drivers doing a very great job tonight. But I tell you what, Donald Stewart looking very sharp out there tonight, showing the purple lettering in support of PAD, People Against Distracted Driving.
Nice solid racing in back, actually a lot tighter than most of the racing throughout the pack. You've got usually about a half a second gap or so to the next driver, a tenth here, 2/10 there, and then you got a little bit of a gap until you get to the second pack, and that's really where a lot of the racing is happening.
Well, I tell you what, back up to the front with the number 8 of Andrew Schulte. We had while we were looking at the guys in the back, Scott Sanderson, the sneaky fella he is, he got up there in the front, and Scott Sanderson is now leading lap 17. A lot of action going on for second, third, and fourth place belonging to Andrew Schulte, Jason Russo, and Dustin Markham. Dustin Markham, welcome to Top 4 land, brother, as he gets a pass on the number 8 of Andrew Schulte.
He's going to get his pass on Andrew, and he's going to go straight after Jason, trying to swap those two around. Not going to quite be able to do it entering 1 and 2. Maybe he'll get a good enough run down the backstretch, see if he can do it on that. Ooh, Jason gets a little bit of contact with the wall on the backstretch. Looks like the truck is okay, but you might want to feel it out a little bit.
Well, it appears that that's going to give Dustin Markham in the number 88 a run on that inside lane. Must have hit the hamster pedal. Side by side, no contact. Dustin Markham will be able to safely pass the number 22 of Jason Russo, and it appears Jason might be suffering a little bit of a speed loss due to that contact, but here comes Jason trying to get his nose underneath. Has got to back her down a little bit. And we will have our first caution of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a look at that on our All-Pro Broadcasting replay. We do know that Tony Wright and Jack Watts making contact back on lap 19. Tony Wright tonight and Jack Watts in trouble with the first caution. It does appear that Tony Wright not negotiating that corner quite as well as he should have. Popping up, hitting the wall on lap 19 as he hit the wall, swerving the Chevy Silverado into the path of Jack Watts. Unfortunate break for both drivers on lap 19.
Yeah, it just looked like he was underestimating the amount of tire wear that he had already, and looks like he just pushed it a little bit too hard coming out of the corner. Kind of slapped the wall just slightly, came back, and had no control over the truck. Jack Watts, not very many places to go, so unfortunate break for both drivers. Going to have to use one of their backup trucks tonight pretty early.
And Jack Watts did everything he possibly could to avoid that collision. I'll tell you what, he was up there on the wall, didn't have anywhere to go to. That little incident right there will cost both these drivers one of their 2 backup vehicles tonight.
As we're back up front, lots of action on pit road. Looks like Andrew Schulte may have actually missed his pit box or overshot it just a hair. Looks like it might cost him a little bit of time. Race off pit road, first, second, and third. Really tight coming off of there. Scott Sanderson, though, winning the win.
That will put Scott Sanderson on the restart in the P1 position, along with Dustin Markham in position 2, and Jason Russo in the 22 Pro Automotive will be taking position 3. We're going to get a quick chat in right now with our sponsor, Jason Russo. How about it, Jason Russo? Have you got a copy?
I got you, Scott.
Alrighty, well, tonight is all about you, my dear friend. You're the sponsor of Tuesday TMT. You're a sponsor with KMA Racing. Been with us for a very long time. We appreciate everything you do. Talk to us a little bit about your night and your Pro Automotive.
So far, been a good night. Some really nice racing up front. Try and keep this thing up front, keep it clean. First and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to Jack Watts for sponsoring up tonight, funding this broadcast, and all you guys at KMA and All Pro Broadcasting and all the teammates out here. It's a fun night.
Alrighty, looking good. I hope you have a very good finish tonight. That would be awesome if Pro Automotive could win the Pro Automotive 100.
Do our best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I was scrolling through, checking the standings, and it looks like we got somebody else up here in the top 5 that not usually there right away. Wally Tierheimer's sitting P4, and Michael Jean sitting P5.
Wally Tierheimer running for Maximum Velocity, and Michael Jeans running with Southeast Motorsports. Both drivers doing a very good job tonight, and I'm sure we will see them up in the winners, at least in the top 5. We can't all be up there in the winner's circle, but I'm sure both drivers will pull out a top 5 tonight.
Definitely one driver that I'm pretty sure will get back up there. Andrew Schulte had a pretty bad pit stop. Now we're going to have to see whether or not he can work his way back from 6th all the way back up to where he was, top 3 land.
Alrighty, well, we have got time to get in one more quick driver interview. How about it? Dustin Markham, have you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, you're up there in position 2 behind Scott in front of Jason Russo. What's on your mind right now on lap 23?
Just hoping for some long green runs. I think I got a really good long run truck. Practiced a lot in practice, so I was catching them there at the end on that run there, so hopefully get some long runs.
All right, anybody you'd like to give a big shout out to?
Yeah, a couple teammates I have, Chandler Krizik and Glenn Zotner Jr.
All righty, copy that, and good luck to you, Dustin.
Thanks.
Pace car lights are off. The pace car pulling into 3 and 4, getting ready and set to go back to green. Hopefully we can get some more good long green flag runs in. Gonna have to see how this restart plays out because I'm pretty sure everybody took 4 tires. Pretty much a lot like the start of the race. A few drivers swapped a few positions. Jason Russo got a real good jump and real good start last time, now sitting in P3. Pace car is off. Green flag is out.
Scott Sanderson with a very powerful start. All starts and restarts are on leader's discretion, and his discretion was to get up and boogie on out of there. We've got some hard racing going on for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th position. Up on the inside, number 66, Edward Bray. Right now, Edward Bray is coming up through that field on a set of 4 fresh tires. Riding up onto the rear end of number 57 of Wally Tierheimer. Wally Tierheimer in heavy traffic right now with the number 88 of Dustin Markham and Michael Jeans.
Yeah, Michael Jeans gained a good few spots on the restart. He was able to push himself all the way up to 3rd. Edward Bray getting a little bit loose in the middle of the pack right there, but the action really being up front. Jason Russo fighting hard for P1 right now against Scott Sanderson.
Side by side for that P1 spot, Michael Jeans with a front row seat to that action up there. Wally Tierheimer up to 4th position, keeping an eye on his mirrors and on his outside to the right. I'd say, well, we've got some great racing right now on lap 26. All these drivers are warmed up and ready to go. And I tell you what, it is on cowboy style tonight here at Texas.
Yes, sir, it is. Go big or go home right now. They're definitely trying their best to make sure that everybody gets in at least one lead change a lap. Holy cow, they are pushing it really hard.
Jason Russo doing everything he can to hold off the 93 of Scott Sanderson. But I tell you what, keeping a very close eye on the number 8 of Michael Jeans. I'm sure he is wanting to get his way up to the front, driving the Toyota tonight.
Yep, you drivers do have their option of the Toyota Tundra or the Chevy Silverado, so a lot of drivers choosing the Chevy Silverado just because it was the first truck that came out on iRacing. But you know, the Toyota Tundra has the same exact everything on it. A lot of drivers just like the preference. So a lot of drivers out here though.
Dropping back, taking a look at Tony Wright in the number 21. We do believe that the number 72 of Ivan Garcia might be in a little bit of trouble tonight. Tony Wright taking the good pass on the inside, several miles per hour faster. Ivan Garcia touching the wall. I'm thinking maybe Ivan Garcia has burned up his use of the 4 tires tonight, and that is essentially going to slow you down as Tony Wright makes a successful pass in position 16.
Yeah, you don't want to use up your tires, and you definitely want to be careful when it comes around to getting close to the wall on either exit of the corner. You can really get close to with your the back end of your truck, and sometimes you'll just barely tail slap it, and others you'll hit it pretty good.
Side-by-side action with the number 78 Donald Stewart and the 146 of Kenneth Wright, along with Jack Watts in that 3-truck party. All of these drivers tonight, you know, when is go time, Cody? We are on lap 30 of 100. Everybody wants to be in the front, but when is go time here at Texas?
You know, it's a very factoring question because there's a lot that can go into go time. It all depends on how the race has been going, how the drivers have been acting, where you're sitting at in the field. I mean, if I was sitting maybe P20 and we've had nothing but caution after caution after caution, I might say go time might be the last 10, 20 laps just to make sure I've got enough time to get up there. But with these long green flag runs like they are, then it's all a question of how good are you at saving tires. Because if you're good at saving tires and you're pretty good at, you know, maintaining your speed when you're saving the tires, your go time is now. You can go as soon as you want to. But
right now, all these drivers seeming very content just to stay single file. Not seeing a whole lot of double wide. Definitely not seeing any 3 wide. 4 wide is completely off of their mind right now. We are looking at the number 14 of Gary Burt getting passed by the number 3 of Mark Jackson. Gary Burt tonight not in his usual number 88. He is in the 14, which is the usual number of Jason Russo. Interesting how these numbers lined up, and the number 14 of Gary Burt, slight contact onto Douglas Hess. Douglas Hess not getting too much damage, but as Gary tried to regain control, Gary Burt, unfortunately, into the wall, suffering a little bit of damage here.
yeah, it just looks like a little bit of sprite side. Not going to hurt him a whole heck of a lot. Maybe a little bit exiting the corner, but it's enough to see it. I think he might have a few seconds of damage to fix in the pits, but nothing too major.
And that's exactly what he does need to do right now, Cody. He just needs to stay on this lead lap. You know, he's not going to feel a lot of driving difficulties. It was not that bad of a hit, more body damage. You know, he didn't blow out a tire. I don't think the suspension took a beating right there. So as long as he can stay on this lead lap, sitting in about 20 to 25 laps, we're going to be looking at some green flag pit stops. So zip in, grab that backup Silverado, zip right out. So all is not lost for Gary Burt.
Now, actually, he sits in a pretty good position right now because he now has more of an option to do what we call a short pit. Short pitting holds many options. You can do it just about any time you want. It's just a question of how much fuel you have and when you want to plan your pitting strategy.
Jumping back to the rear of the field a little bit, I want to take a good look at Gary Whitmer Jr. We had mentioned Gary Whitmer Jr. is our videographer, and I tell you what, he is driving that purple custom-designed truck by over-the-top paints and designs. I tell you what, Cody, that is a pretty purple pad truck right there, brought to you by over-the-top paints and designs. Gary Whitmer, position 16, being rooted on by his mother tonight, Becky Whitmer.
Beautiful cars doing some beautiful racing. Back up to the front of the field, Scott Sanderson was able to grab the lead there just for a quick second. Then Jason Ruscio was able to grab it right back. And now Scott is just all over Jason's bumper trying to figure out a way to get it by him. Jason just holding a nice steady line, hoping that he doesn't make any mistakes. Because as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, he can pretty well keep him back there for a while.
Well, now we are seeing Scott Sanderson stepping up his game tonight in that Chevy Silverado number 93, making a little bit of rear-end contact, letting Jason Russo know, hey, buddy, you may be in front of me, but hey, I'm behind you, and I'm knocking on the rear end of that number 22 Pro Automotive.
As long as he doesn't push him too hard or too far, he should be fine with just, knocking on the back door, just trying to make sure he knows, I am here, I am ready. Anytime you want to slip up.
Well, I tell you what, I had mentioned it earlier tonight that it's like a title fight. We're looking at Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali here, two great racers side by side. Scott Sanderson going for that lead on lap 40, making a very successful pass down onto the inside. I tell you what, tonight it is all about Jason Russo and Scott Sanderson here at Texas. We have had 8 lead changes, 1 caution. We are on lap 40 of 100. Great side-by-side racing, great fans, great broadcasting. Jason Russo, slight contact into the wall. That may be the break that the number 8, Michael Jeans, running for Southeast Motorsports. That might be the break Michael was looking for. All 3 of these drivers are getting ready to get bunched up as these laps do tick away.
And a lot of the bunching up is primarily because of the minute amount of draft there is on this track. It's just enough so that way they can catch the speed coming down the straightaway, and then they're able to get a good enough of a run going into the corner. It's all just kind of keeping everybody together, in one straight form, one line, just making sure they click off as many laps as possible before they need to pit or before they want to do anything else.
Alrighty, let's go back to those numbers right now and talk about some speeds. The speeds Scott Sanderson is putting down. Talk to us about what he's doing down the backstretch and how them speeds are decreasing going into them corners.
Well, right now he's not running extremely fast. He's hitting lap times of 29.690. He's entering the corners at 182. So, he's kind of slowing his truck down, letting the momentum take him down to 170. Not much below that, because if he was going any slower than that, he wouldn't be maintaining the lead right now. But, it's pretty cool because the front stretch, his miles per hour are actually picking up about 2 to 3 miles per hour every time he goes down the front stretch compared to the back. Just because of the amount of momentum he's able to keep through the tri-oval or through the quad oval, just kind of turning that wheel just the slightest little bit, maintaining his speed.
Number 93, Scott Sanderson, right now in P1. We have had a shakeup in P2, 3, and 4. Jason Russo dropping back to position 4. Dustin Markham up in position 3. And Michael Jeans, welcome to Top 2 land. Number 8, Michael Jeans, Southeast in position 2. Being challenged by the number 88 of Dustin Markham. Bumper to bumper, nose to tail.
Yeah, they're fighting hard for that P2 position, but meanwhile, while they're fighting hard, Scott Sanderson is able to get a little bit of a break and pull out about 4 tenths ahead of everybody else, which gives him about, I'd say about 5 or 6 truck lengths between his truck and the next.
We are on lap 46, almost to that halfway point. Should be coming up on some green flag pit stops very soon. Right now, Scott Sanderson with just about a half a second lead off of Michael Jeans, and about a 1.2 second off of Jason Russo. Jason Russo sitting very securely in position 4 behind Jason Russo. We've got the number 8 of Andrew Schulte looking pretty in pink, showing his support out here for October Breast Awareness Month, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you what, I'm going to give the number 8, Andrew Schulte, a very big high five, supporting the ladies. Now another driver out here showing his support for Breast Awareness Month. Back there in position 16, Joel Guy in the number 91, decked out. Beautiful pink Chevy Silverado. It is all about the pink tonight with Joel Guy. We appreciate all the support that these drivers do out here, whether it's for their fans or their teams or for their sponsors or for just special events and great things in the world. So big shout out to the number 91 of Joel Guy, pretty in pink.
You know, you were just talking about Andrew Schulte, and he is currently getting around Jason Russo, trying to take over P4. He will do it successfully through 3 and 4. Now, it looks like Wally Tierheimer might start working on the 22 of Jason Russo now.
Now, Jason Russo might not be getting past by better driving. He may be backing off. He may be feeling those tires starting to give. And down there in the officials meeting, Cody, I had a big talk with the drivers, and I said, you know what? Speed is not everything. You have got to be smart. The fastest guy out here can pull down a killer lap time on that first lap, but he's not going to be doing jack 4 laps later. Jason Russo, I think, possibly in tire save mode on lap 51. Scott Sanderson up there in P1. We do know that the number 146 of Kenneth Wright getting ready to perform a green flag pit stop. I tell you what, these green flag pit stops today are great to watch. Kenneth Wright in the pit row, safe and sound, along with the number 3 of Mark Jackson and the number 68 of Rob Haynes. Now let's keep our cameras viewed to these drivers and see if they're taking 2 or 4.
Dustin Markham also decided to do pit in, and Jason Russo.
Number 68, Rob Haynes, taking rights. Number 68 taking lefts as Jason Russo pulls into the pit stop, 2 stops in front of him. Rob Haynes in the number 68 pulling out of pit row, a successful green flag pit stop for Rob Haynes on lap 52.
Now, one of the bigger rules in KMA, you must enter on the backstretch, so no matter what, you have to drive as safely as possible, but still as quickly as possible around on that apron all the way around turn 1 and 2 until you get to the backstretch.
Big shout out to our viewers out there. I know we have got one very special viewer sneaking a peek at the All-Pro Broadcasting replay. I won't tell on you because I'm just glad you're taking that sneak a peek. Glad to have you watching. Big fan viewer right there. Great racing tonight on lap 53 of the Pro Automotive 100, brought to you by KMA Racing, sponsored by Jack Watts, live broadcast by All-Pro Broadcasting Network. Now, after these green flag pit stops, things are all shook up here in the front. We've got the number 8, Michael Jeans, right there in the green and black Toyota. He is up there in P1. KMA's very own Jack Watts in P2, but Jack Watts actually going into pit row. Number 77, Jack Watts in the KMA is coming out of pit row. I am sorry, ladies and gentlemen, Jack Watts completing a successful pit stop back up onto the track in position 1 lap down in position 4. Now explain to us, Cody, right now we have got position 4 back, all a lap down, but they're not really a lap down, are they?
No, they're not really a lap down. It's just that they've got to wait until everybody else completes the pit stops in order to actually get their lap back. It's kind of strange because with these 1.5-mile courses, the leaders are able to go completely around in the same amount of time that it takes you to get off the gas, get down pit road, get back on the gas, and get all the way back around to the backstretch and pull back up.
We've got the number 91, Joel Guy, right now in position 2. Has not yet green flag pitted. Right now in the number 91, Joel Guy, going into pit row, looking very pretty, showing his support out there for the ladies tonight. Keeping an eye on 91 of Joel Guy as he pulls into his pit box. Very secure driving job right there. Joel Guy taking rights. Joel Guy taking lefts. We have also got Michael Jeans in the 08 into pit row as well. Now that's exactly what we were talking about, Cody. We had Michael and Ivan and Joel sitting up there in positions 1, 2, and 3. Now all 3 drivers into pit row, and that is going to give that lead possibly back to the 93 of Scott Sanderson's, possibly. We're going to have to wait until these drivers do come around pit row one more time. Green flag pit stops once again on lap 58.
A very successful round of green flag pit stops. Everybody kind of executed everything a little bit differently, kind of switched a lot of things around. Right now, I'm actually looking at Dustin Markham in the number 88. Will take over P1 position. Very successful pit stops for him. But on his tail, he still has Scott Sanderson in the 93 right there on his back bumper, trying to take back over that P1 spot.
Now, I'll tell you what, we are seeing a repetition here, Cody. We are seeing Dustin. We are seeing Scott, Jason, Andrew, and Wally. These drivers have pretty much been consistently the top 5 players of the evening tonight here at Texas. They know what's going on in the Lone Star State.
Yeah, they know what's going on. Not only that, though, I mean, they've been holding a very consistent, a very smooth line, trying to just maintain where they're at. And, everybody's kind of playing the tire wear game a little bit differently. I still wouldn't count out anybody in the back. Donald Stewart, Mark Jackson, Rob Haynes, Michael Jeans is back there now, Jack Watt. Any of those drivers still have a very fair shot at just going, and if we get a caution at the right time, or if they nail something good, they can be up there just as quickly as anybody else.
Well, I tell you, Cody, the most exciting racing going on the track right now is for position 2 and position 3, Scott Sanderson and Jason Russo, doing a hell of a job out here tonight. I am having a blast watching Jason Russo. Tonight's race is very important to Jason Russo. He came dressed to impress at Texas. He is side by side down onto the inside of the number 93 of Scott Sanderson. But Scott Sanderson possibly seeming to have more of a bit of a run, getting back into that throttle, coming around that corner. But here comes Jason Russo flying back, side by side action on lap 62.
That's just one of those things that the Q line does not offer, is the fact that if you don't have the entire track to play with, you've got to be very, very conscious about who's on your outside and how they're going to drive through the corner a little bit differently than what you usually do. So you got to play the game of who is who and how they're going to run. So very good running, both drivers, very well.
Jason Russo, he's sitting at just over half a second back off of our race leader. He is at 800ths of a second off of Dustin Markham, sitting in P2. Scott Sanderson having to put a little bit more brake. Maybe Jason Russo had a little bit more throttle. But the side-by-side has come to a short stop for the minute. But I'm sure Scott Sanderson is going to get back into that throttle, give those hamsters a little bit of a V8, and he'll be right back up there side by side.
Well, not only is he going to be side by side, but I'm pretty sure with the way that they're catching Dustin Markham right now, Jason is definitely using up a lot more of his tires. Now, whether or not that's a strategy thing that he knows that he's got to pit maybe one more time still, and he's thinking, well, if I short pit, take 4 tires, get right back out here, use up every last little bit I got, he might be able to get a little bit ahead of Dustin Markham. But right now, he is seriously running him down about a 1/10 a lap right now. He's now down to 0.665 of a second. Still gaining, running really, really heavy going into the corners. He's up to 184, whereas before, like I said, he was only running 182 down the backstretch. Still gaining quite a bit of speed, though. Should actually start catching his draft very, very shortly.
Dustin Markham doing a very fine job out here tonight, looking at about a 700th of a lead right now off of Jason Russo. 1.2 seconds back sets Scott Sanderson. So these top 5 right now, the top 4 have actually really put some distance. Now 5th place of Wally Tierheimer being challenged by Donald Stewart, positions 5 and 6. But they are 4.5 and 4.8 seconds off of our race leader here on lap 67. Currently, we do have 14 drivers on the lead lap. Number 21, Tony Wright, being that 14th driver. Joel Guy in the number 91, 1 lap down, as well as the number 72 of Ivan Garcia. And we have got a spinner in the rear of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if that will bring out our caution or not. It does not appear that it will. I believe it was the number 68, possibly. It was the number 68, having a slight spin out back there in the rear of the field, but we are still under green flag racing.
Yeah, it just looks like Rob Haynes ended up pretty rough little hit, but he ended up getting loose, exiting the corner, touched the outside wall, got it extremely loose, sideways down the backstretch, ended up hitting the inside wall pretty good. Now he'll end up having to go back into pit road, taking a reset, getting that truck fixed as quickly as possible.
Number 78 of Donald Stewart heading into pit road. Donald Stewart in the over-the-top paints and designs Chevy Silverado. Pretty in pink number showing his support for pad. Donald Stewart into pit row on lap 70. And this very well could be his last pit stop, Cody. Maybe he's thinking something that the other guys are not.
Yeah, everybody kind of thinks differently when it comes down to it. And, you know, I was fortunate enough to get quite a few breaks 2 weeks ago. This week, not as much. In the KOA Friday night series, I always had tried a different pit strategy. Maybe it'll work for him tonight. Just trying to use up the tires that he had on the last section, maybe saving these quite a bit better, or quite a bit more.
Back up to the most exciting racing action you have seen, ladies and gentlemen, with our race leaders. Number 2, Jason Russo, Scott Sanderson, Andrew Schultz, number 4. We have got Scott Sanderson coming down into the inside. Now, we talked about the 3 wide. We are almost 3 wide, but number 8 backing it down, not wanting to go 3 wide, but he had the opportunity. Bumper to bumper, Jason Russo with a big crossover move. I tell you what, Jason Russo and the number 8, Andrew Schultz, and Scott Sanderson, they are racing like it is 1 to go here at Texas.
Yeah, you know, it's not 1 to go right now, but they're definitely racing nice, hard, but they're also racing extremely clean with 28 to go. They're just kind of battling side by side, giving each other plenty of room, and, you know, you saw Andrew Schultz back it down, kind of playing it smart, thinking, you know, I can get this position, I can get the easy 1 position, and I can challenge myself for the second one, but do I really need to do it right now? So, I mean, there's a lot of strategy right now that's going through a lot of drivers' heads, thinking, you know, I'm pretty sure I can pass this guy, I'm pretty sure I'm faster than him, but do I need it right at this very second?
Jason Russo falling back about 4 or 5 truck lengths here on lap 74. Again, we were talking about that tire wear. Or maybe does Jason sense something? Is Jason possibly going in for an early pit stop? We call that short pitting. I tell you what, viewers, if you are liking what you're seeing and your ears are liking what you're hearing, make sure you give us a big like out there on the All Pro Broadcasting Shout like box. Check us out on Facebook, All Pro Broadcasting, KMA Racing, and PAD, PADD.org. Scott Sanderson in for a green flag pit stop. Scott Sanderson, position 2, number 93, into the pits on lap 75 for his last pit stop of the night.
Yeah, I was watching Scott get into pit road. He ended up getting pretty sideways on the brakes, able to maintain back under control, see if he takes 2 or 4 here.
That will be very interesting. Now, we've also gotten word that Jason Russo will be going into pit row next time by as well. Jason Russo heading down pit lane, getting on those brakes to make sure that he's got to keep pace there with the number 8 of Andrew Schulte. Doesn't want to lose this spot in pit row. So right now, Andrew and Jason on the same page on lap 77. We currently are showing 12 drivers on that lead lap, but as we talked about, as these trucks cycle in and out of pit row, those numbers will be changing. I tell you what, Cody, sometimes green flag pit stops are hard to come by, but tonight here in Texas, the green flag pit stops are as plentiful as the bulls out there on the range.
Yeah, we're going to get quite a few bulls in this ring tonight that are going to be trying to push their trucks to the limits and a little bit past. Now we're going to see who's really got what it's going to take to make it through this final 22 lap run, just to see who can make it through the last couple laps, just fighting back and forth.
Taking a look at the number 93 of Scott Sanderson. Now, right now, he is 1 lap down as they are passing the 91 of Joel Guy, but they're not really 1 lap down. We do know that Mark Jackson and Kenneth Wright, Chris Voles, Tony Wright, Michael Jeans, Donald Stewart, Dustin Markham, and Joel Guy have not yet gone into pit row, so Scott does not have to worry about passing anybody but the number 8 of Andrew Schulte. Of all these vehicles he's going to be coming up on, Andrew right now is his only worry.
Yeah, just try to maintain your speed, try to maintain your truck to get back up front and try to not really get taken out.
Jason Russo almost getting into the big one of the number 91 of Joel Guy. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, Jason Russo, as he was almost into the wall, side by side with the 91 of Joel Guy, that one there could have been catastrophic.
Yeah, it could have been a little bit of rough running. Got very, very good at the save rate there. He just looked like it was a little bit too tight for too close for his comfort.
I tell you what, I was hanging on to the edge of my seat right there, but Jason Russo, he threaded that needle like the pro that Jason Russo is. Now, right now, our race leader is Mark Jackson in the number 3. Mark Jackson driving the Gravedigger. That's what we call him. We call him the Gravedigger. Right now, he is onto the tail end of Joel Guy. Joel Guy currently sitting 1 lap down. Mark Jackson, current race leader, but he is going to have to be pitting, so his position will be changing.
Andrew Schulte gets a little loose, gets even more sideways, gets a little bit of help from Scott Sanderson, and we have the caution flag is flying.
Andrew Schulte getting in trouble on lap 81. We're going to take a look at that. I tell you what, I hate to see that pink and black breast awareness truck going for a ride. We do know that the number 93 of Scott Sanderson coming in hard onto the rear end of the number 8 of Andrew Schulte. But Cody, it appeared that Andrew Schulte was already getting to spin out that 3,000-pound Chevy Silverado. And Scott Sanderson, there was nothing that Scott could do. But I tell you what, if this were the Olympics, I'm going to give Andrew Schulte a 9.7 for that triple 360-degree spin he did right there. That was, well, it's actually just a 1 360, but I tell you what, I think he's probably a little bit dizzy after that ride.
Yeah, it was definitely an awesome ride to watch, but man, it gets kind of scary every once in a while when you see that wall heading straight towards you. Then you're like, Well, yeah, we're going to touch it, but hopefully not too hard. It doesn't look like he's got too much damage to it. I don't think he'll be a lap down, so he should actually be good to go back in and get 4 fresh ones and possibly his second or first backup truck of the night.
Alrighty, we are underneath our second caution of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I do want to get one special interview in very quickly. We couldn't get him in on the first time when he was leading the night, but he has got his microphone up and operating right now, so I do want to make sure I give him his airtime. How about Scott Sanderson? Have you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Alrighty, I wanted to make sure we got you up here. You have been working very hard all night long, but we had mic difficulties earlier. But right now, the mic is all yours. What are you thinking? You're out here kicking some Texas butt.
Yeah, I like the setup. It's nice and firm. I mean, it's not really loose, which is what you normally see here at Texas, especially coming off a turn 2. It holds really nice as long as you get the right angle on it. Like you've been saying, been working our butts off up here. Dustin and Andrew and Jason, they've been all real fast. What's really come down to is who can conserve their tires the best. I've noticed Jason, he falls off pretty fast once the goodness of the tires goes away. So it's gonna be interesting because you can't save much tires here, but I don't know if going all out for the 16 or 15 laps that we're gonna have is gonna be able to do it. So we'll see.
Alrighty, talk to me briefly about any sponsors or any teammates. Who's out here keeping an eye on you?
Well, I've ran with Andrew Schulte a lot. Wally Tierheimer, he's in here. I run with them a lot, so they're kind of teammates. They're not my immediate teammates, but proud to call them at least friends, whether it's on or off the track. Sponsors, that's a big one for me. Everybody on this truck, Folds of Honor, and everybody that's on this truck. I mean, there's so many things on this truck that I can't even begin to start. It's basically a tribute to all the police officers, veterans, and everybody like that just keeps us safe and allows us to burn some laps here in Texas today. So.
All right, I tell you what, very wise words, very good words. Thank you for the airtime there, Scott, and good luck to you tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All righty, I tell you what, that was a very good interview right there, and a big shout out to the law enforcement, to the firemen out there, the paramedics, the doctors, probably not the lawyers, wink, wink, but I tell you what, big shout out to Scott tonight, doing a very great job. Ladies and gentlemen, we are underneath our second caution of the evening, and we've had 12 lead changes. Cody, going to be about a 13-lap shootout. What are we going to be looking at?
You're going to be looking at a lot of double file, possibly a little bit of 3 wide. You're going to see a lot of it go, a lot of drivers go head to head really quickly. They're going to be trying to kick enough, but just to try to, get enough underway, because this should be the last green flag run if we don't have another caution, which I highly doubt we won't. I'm not looking forward to another caution if we do, but you've got a lot of good drivers up there. Not positive on their pit strategy, not sure who's on 2, who's on 4, but I'm pretty sure a lot of these drivers took 4 tires, full tank of fuel, just to get it good, get it out of the way. You got Mark Jackson up there, Dustin Markham, Donald Stewart, Michael Jeans, Jason Ruscio, Andrew Schulte, Joel Guy, Wally Tierheimer. A lot of these drivers have been up there before, been up there lately, so it's still anybody's race, but it's going to be coming down to who can hold off who the best.
Big shout out to Martha Tierheimer out here supporting her son Wally tonight, and we are off. Boogity boogity, back to Green Flag Racing. Mark Jackson, massive start to the action between Dustin and Donald Stewart and Michael Jeans and Andrew Schultz. My goodness, side by side, outside lane, giving out. Watching the number 78 of Donald Stewart working hand in hand. No, sir. There goes Michael G. The number 8 of Andrew Schultz down underneath. Getting the pass, bumping the number 78 of Donald Stewart. Just saying hello, here I am. But I tell you what, looking at Michael Jeans in the 08 side by side with Dustin Markham. I tell you what, these boys are fighting for it with 12 to go.
Yeah, they've all pulled out their 6-shooters, just trying to make one another move out of the way, trying to make them force a mistake, trying to force everybody up out of the line. But Andrew Schulte looks like he's got the car to beat. He might just be able to get around Mark Jackson. Whether or not he'll be able to pull away from P2 or P3 Donald Stewart, that's all going to, a little bit in the grass right there.
Well, Donald Stewart actually trying to help the number 8 of Andrew Schulte, but in his rearview mirror, he's coming like a bat out of hell in the number 88, Dustin Markham. Mark Jackson trapped up onto that outside. We have got a position of 3 wide. We've got 3 wide potential. We are 3 wide as the number 78 gets into the bumper of Mark Jackson. Number 78 into the wall. No caution, but Donald Stewart into the wall with a slight bumper jab onto Mark Jackson. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still green flag at Texas. 10 to go. Andrew Schulte out in front with Dustin Markham and Michael Jeans down to the inside. That was 3 wide, Cody.
Dustin Markham putting on some aggressive moves, trying to block Michael Jeans, trying to make sure he can't take that position away. He's really going after Andrew Schulte right now, trying to get his 88 truck back up into the lead.
But we are not going to count out our sponsor, the number 22 of Jason Russo. Now, we just did see the 88 of Dustin Markham, his right rear tapping the wall. Jason Russo and Michael Jeans side by side on lap 91. All righty, fans of All Pro Broadcasting, it is time to put your bets in, pick your winner for the evening. Will it be Andrew, Dustin, Michael, Jason, Wally Tierheimer sitting in position 5? What a fighter tonight, Wally Tierheimer in the Hardee's Chevy Silverado.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because all of these drivers at one point or another have been a lap down just because of green flag pit stops. Now everybody's back on my lap. Ooh, tight, close. Wow.
Drastic move by Michael.
Michael cut down in front of Wally Tierheimer, trying to block the position, trying to get in back into the low line. Wally now getting underneath Michael Jeans as Jason Russo takes away the position from Dustin Markham. Now Dustin Markham trying to figure out whether or not he can do the crossover maneuver on him. Will not be successful on lap 93 going down the backstretch.
Wally Tierheimer actually almost trying to trap the number 8 of Michael Jeans up into that upper lane. Now Scott Sanderson getting onto the rear end of Wally, going to try to push Wally past Michael. Wally Tierheimer currently sitting in P5, not able to get around him. You know, now Andrew Schulte up there, it is 6 to go. He's not up in any of this mess. He is a half a second up there. All Andrew Schulte has to do is concentrate, because the possibility of positions 2 through 5 falling apart right now in a panic with 5 to go, it is there. But we have Jason Russo, Dustin Michael Jeans actually pulling away from Scott Sanderson and Wally Tierheimer, keeping cameras rolling up here with the number 88 of Dustin Markham in P3 with 5 to go. Tell me, ladies and gentlemen, who are you looking at? Pick your winner.
Really, I'm just looking at Andrew Schulte. He has got a very nice lead. He's very comfortable with where he's at. The only way that Jason's going to have to catch him is he's got to catch a 10th of lap, and that's not easy to do at Texas unless you make a mistake.
Well, I tell you what, here in about 3 more laps, Cody, if that caution does fly, that will end the race. So right now, Andrew Schulte, so focused out there, just trying to stay ahead of Jason Russo. He is a half a second up, 7/100ths of a second up of Dustin Markham, and almost 1 second ahead of Michael Jeans with 3 to go. I tell you what, it has been a fabulous night tonight here at Texas, Cody.
It's been an awesome night, and you know, it's really cool when it comes down to these nice short shoots, the short green flag runs, because as long as nobody makes any mistakes, you never know who could be the winner, because if Andrew Schulte just goes up and touches the wall or anything happens, the race could be all over for somebody within the matter of less than a second. I mean, it just takes a slap of the wall.
Timothy Cox out there on the All Pro Broadcasting Network channel, thinking that Andrew Schulte has got it. I know Becky Whitmer out there and Martha and Michelle, they are excited. So God bless your ladies out there showing the support for All-Pro Broadcasting, Dustin Markham in the number 88, going to get into the wall. Michael Jean's going to take advantage of that, as well as Scott Sanderson. Unfortunate break. I tell you, the wall and the truck, they don't mix. But right now, Andrew Schulte, very commanding lead. Jason Russo on his way to a very solid number 2 spot. But third, fourth, and fifth, I don't know. Michael Jean's right now in position 3rd. But Scott Sanderson in the number 93, he is wanting at least a position 3 tonight.
They're all fighting very hard side by side back there. They're fighting pretty cleanly single file up here. And, there's a lot of battling going on all the way throughout the track, just trying to figure out who's going to lead the last couple laps.
Well, we are down to those last couple laps. We are actually at our white flag tonight. Andrew Schulte up in front almost by a second. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Schulte, Jason Russo, Michael Jeans. Jason Russo losing position to Michael Jeans. Can Jason Russo, that is the most exciting racing going on right now. Jason Russo going for a ride in the pit row. Unfortunate break for Jason Russo, sliding in the pit row, nose into pit row. Hearts are broke for Jason Russo tonight.
Yeah, he just came out of 2 just a little bit too hot, trying to gain a little bit too much ground, and, it was a little bit on the rough side right there. Seeing Jason get into that right after having 99 clean, perfect, good laps, sitting up in P2, and just the last one is what got him. That's all that was.
I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that is a complete heartbreaker for my sponsor there, Jason Russo. But I tell you what, he has got nothing to be ashamed of. Just got down onto that apron a little bit. Actually, he gets 10 points for knocking out that pesky little cone. You just saw that on the replay. That was some good stuff right there. We're going to get in some driver interviews here. Finishing out in position 3, we have got the number 88 of Dustin Markham. Very solid position 3, Dustin. Talk to me.
I'm happy with 3rd, but disappointed. Had the best truck tonight. Just never had a good short run. But, oh well. Come back next week and do it again.
Well, I tell you what, sir, you've got nothing to be ashamed of. You put up one hell of a fight, and those last 10 laps, they were the most exciting laps of the evening. So, Dustin Markham in the number 88. Very great job tonight.
Thanks.
All right, finishing out in number 2 positions, the 08 Michael Jeans. Talk to me, sir.
I survived.
You survived very well. Very impressed. Talked a whole lot about Michael Jeans, but now you have got the microphone, sir. Talk to us about your sponsors and your team and what's on your mind.
Yeah, I'd like to thank KMA, of course. Good job for, I appreciate Jason and Jack and everybody for putting this on. All-Pro Broadcasting. Andrew did good there. That restart, the outside line, it's hard to take off. Everybody gets such a good run on the inside. I tried to pinch them down. I burnt my stuff up. The running on the outside a couple laps to save the positions that I did get. So it didn't get me. I wasn't able to run Andrew back down, but over the top paint design, John Hendrick. Appreciate it, man. You do a lot for me. Richie B's, Pad, All-Pro Broadcasting, KMA, my beautiful girlfriend Amanda, I love you. Thank you for letting me do this on our 2-year anniversary. Thanks, guys.
Alrighty, hey Amanda, I tell you what, a lot of our wives and our girlfriends, they got to put up with us guys out here doing what we do, but, well, God bless you, Amanda. Be proud of your man tonight, taking position 2 at Texas. Good job, Michael Jeans.
Thank you. Southeast Motorsports, ABB Engineering. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, and tonight, P1 controlled just about the entire night. Andrew Schulte, you were practiced, you hit number 1, qualified P2, race, you finished out on top. How'd you do it, man?
I kind of fell into being in the right place at the right time. Yeah, practice was good. It was happy to be on top there. Qualifying, I was really hoping I had that, but obviously Jason was faster. And in the long runs that we were having, I was not able to keep up the same pace as I think Michael, Scott, and Jason were. So that was a little tough there. And the way the race was going, it looked like we were going to have a real long green flag run to finish it. And I didn't think I'd have anything for Michael. That was for Dustin. He was really fast and really consistent on the long run. He was the guy to beat tonight, and we just wound up being in the right place at the right time.
10-4, you were able to hold it together for 100 laps cleanly, able to make sure you didn't get your truck in too much damage, too much trouble tonight. So congratulations on P1. You want to thank anybody?
Thank you. Thanks for KMA and everyone for putting this on. Richie B for sponsoring, and who else was sponsoring?
Jack Watts.
Yeah, Jack Watts for forking over the purse today. Jason for sponsoring it, and everyone at KMA that gives us a great place to run at on pretty much every day of the week that you want to.
We appreciate the kind words. And Andrew, congratulations tonight. We talked all about you and showing the support out there for our ladies out there. We appreciate that. October, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, now I tell you what, Cody, real quick, I do want to talk about something coming very special, and it is going to be big. Coming up on October 29th, we have got the KMA Racing, sponsored by Loose Lug Nuts. That is our painter, over-the-top paints and designs. And I tell you what, up there on Facebook today, we have got scary trucks across the board. We have got some Halloween trucks. We have got some Saw trucks. We have got Charlie Brown Halloween trucks. Big shout out to John Hedrick, Over the Top Paints and Designs, as well as Billy Wise and Jason Covington, going to a lot of work to put up a great race coming to you live broadcast by All Pro Broadcasting there on October 29th. If you haven't got those paints loaded up, it's going to be scary. It's going to be eerie. It's going to be spooky. Big shout out to John Hedrick. But Cody, go on and finish us out tonight and give us some stats at Texas.
Alrighty, your stats for tonight. You know, we've had, it was definitely one of the more fun nights we've had in a long time. We had 2 cautions, 8 caution laps, 13 lead changes, which were spread out amongst quite a few different drivers. Andrew Schulte, your leader, only led about 16. We had actually Scott Sanderson lead the most laps by 1 over Jason Ruscio. A lot of side-by-side racing, very little contact though. Really had a lot of fun throughout the entire night, but our average lap time 34.029 around this 1.5 mile track, which is pretty good after 2 cautions. Drivers really did a phenomenal job just out there fighting side by side. Great job tonight, guys. Good job to everybody.
Well, I tell you what, we promised you here at KMA Racing and All Pro Broadcasting that we would have a hootenanny and a hoedown, and we had a hootenanny and a hoedown here at Texas. So great job to all drivers, great job to All Pro Broadcasting, great job to the painter, John Hedrick, All Pro Over-the-Top Paints and Designs, and All Pro Broadcasting, and KMA Racing, and our fans out there. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't do it without our fan support out there. Give us a big thumbs up there on Facebook and on the broadcast. Cody, great job tonight. Always enjoy working with you. I am Scott Kolovic. He is Cody Lipster. We've got Michael Demicchio. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in for Texas. We are out of here.
Says your name will always give you just a smile, but while
JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.